Hi guys, if you are new to my channel, I am Julie. I am mom to 8 kids, and I am going to take you on this video. I'm going to show you what we're eating for a week. We're going to show you 7 meals. I'm just going to record them each night. You guys really liked when I did this the last time, so I'm going to do it again. Tonight we are having this baked potato soup. I think the recipe is called the best potato soup, something like that. I will put a link to it in the description box because it is delicious. So we're having that, and then I also made a salad with just some chopped up lettuce, cheese, apples, and we'll have some ranch dressing to put on top. Tonight for dinner I am making Change Your Life chicken, which I will put a link in the description box. I didn't have thighs, so I'm making it with chicken legs. This is what it's looking like going into the oven. I'm making 2 trays with potatoes and carrots and green beans and onions. All the directions are in the link that I will put there, so we'll see what it looks like. It goes in really hot oven, 500 degrees for 50 minutes is what they said, so we'll see how it looks when it comes out. Okay, I left it in for less than 50 minutes. It probably was more like 42-ish because I realized that the chicken legs would probably cook faster than the thighs. And it is beautiful. The chicken is golden and crispy and everything is just delicious. You excited about eating?
Delicious, yeah.
Good. Tonight for dinner I am putting a roast in the crock pot. So I have this big piece of roast. I've sprinkled salt and pepper on one side. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the same to the other side. I have my Instant Pot on the saute feature, and I just put about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil in the bottom of it, and that is heating up. Once it's hot, I'm going to put this in there and sear it on all sides. This cut is a chuck roast, and I don't even know how much it weighs because we got this from a farmer. We picked it up from the processors, and they actually don't put poundages on the packages. So I don't know, maybe 5 pounds is a big one. I may not be able to flip this over one-handed while I'm holding the camera, but we'll see. The idea is just to do it 2 or 3 minutes per side and then flip it over. Oops, there we go, I got it. I'm just trying to give it a nice sear on each side. I took the roast out and put it on a plate, and I added in that onion that I chopped up. I'm going to saute that for about 3 minutes, and I'm also going to work on making sure those bottom bits that are stuck to the pan are scraped off. I'll probably use a metal spatula to make sure we get all those little bits up. Okay, I just added in probably closer to 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and now I'm pouring in a 1.5 cups of water. Ideally you would use beef broth, but I don't have any broth at all right now, and so I'm just using water. It's not quite as flavorful, but it'll be just fine. My roast is so thick that I'm afraid if I put the carrots and potatoes in right now like I usually do, I'm afraid they're just going to be mush by the time it's done. So what I'm going to do is put my lid on, push this to sealing. I've canceled the saute feature. I'm going to pressure cook it
And I'm going to do about 30 minutes to give it a head start. And then after the 30 minutes, I will let it release, quickly release, add in my vegetables, and then do another 20 or 25 minutes with the vegetables in. So whenever you're using your pressure cooker, you know, it's going to take a little while to come to pressure before you see that 30-minute countdown begin. So I'm just going to leave this alone. I have my vegetables cut up and ready to go. And once it beeps, once my 30 minutes is done, then I will throw those in and show you how it looks at that point. The 30 minutes is up, so I'm going to let that steam out so we can open it up and look inside. Okay, so we are probably about halfway cooked here. I'm going to dump in all these veggies. Ooh, got them in there without spilling. Actually, I have a few more over here. And then I am going to probably do another 25 minutes. I think probably about 55 minutes total would be best for a roast of this size. So I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to put our lid back on. I always have to kind of coax a little bit. There we go. When it's in the middle of cooking, it gets a little stubborn. Okay, turn this back to venting again. And we're going to do another 25 minutes this time. So here I am just putting it all in this giant bowl. I am so glad I did not cook the vegetables the full time because they are very soft. They couldn't have handled any more. Okay, Samuel, please take turns. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just pulling out the vegetables that are in a good whole state. And some of these that are just so soft that they've really broken up, I'm leaving in here. And I'm going to blend them with my immersion blender and just make it part of the gravy. For dinner tonight, I'm making sort of like a cottage pie with ingredients I had on hand. So it is, yeah, it's just not typical to what I usually do. Just a minute, buddy. You want up?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute. So I had ground beef, probably 3.5 or 4 pounds. I had some tomato sauce, so I mixed that in the cooked ground beef. I put a little bit of cumin, salt, garlic powder, and then I had a bunch of corn, so I mixed corn in with it. So that's what I'm doing for the base. Usually I add like a mixed vegetable or others, but this is what I had. And then I'm topping it with mashed potatoes, and I'm just gonna bake it in the oven until it's heated all the way through, and we'll have that with a salad. Tonight for dinner, we're having chicken legs with this, well, let me just read you the ingredients. It was 1 cup of mayonnaise, 1 cup of yogurt, and then about 2 teaspoons each of garlic powder and salt. And it's supposed to have ranch seasoning. I didn't have any ranch seasoning, so I actually put in probably a 1/4 cup of ranch dressing. Mixed that all up and covered my chicken legs in it. I had, how many pounds did you buy of chicken legs? About 10 pounds of chicken legs. So this is just 1 tray. We were halfway through dinner and Elsie reminded me that we never recorded it. So this is my leftover tray. And then I served it with green beans, and we also had a bag of potato chips just for fun. So that is dinner tonight. I baked it in the oven, 375 for probably was about 50 minutes or so. And it's delicious. Very flavorful and tender and good. I almost forgot to record dinner. It was just a really easy, I made black beans in the Instant Pot. I added cumin and garlic powder and just a minute, buddy. Some salt, and then I mixed those together with brown rice and corn. And kids are just topping it with sour cream and mixing it all together.
Tonight for dinner, I made a big pot of butternut squash soup. This has about 10 cups of squash puree, 5 cups of my bone broth that I make, 2 cups of half and half, and about probably, I don't know, 1/2 cup or 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. And then I just heat that all through. And I cooked 1 package of, I was going for brats, but they had some other kind of sausage at Costco. So I fried those in a pan chopped them up and threw those in too. My kids really like those in it. I also added a teaspoon or two of salt and maybe a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I think that's all I put in it. It's very, very simple. I had the squash already pureed and the broth made. I just dump it all in, dump and go. Very simple soup. And these girls ready for bed, huh?